So, good day everyone. I'm Kit Bukat and I'm going to explain olfaction and taste. So, introduction. There are 5 special senses. Smell and taste is one of them. The main organ of smelling is the nose and the main organ for tasting is the tongue. So, now I will explain what is olfaction. So, olfaction is known as the sense of smell. It occurs in response to airborne molecules called odorants that enters the nasal cavity. The olfactory system or sense of smell is a sensory system used for smelling. Olfaction is one of the special senses that have directly associated specific organs. Most mammals and reptiles have a main olfactory system and an accessory olfactory system. So meaning ani ang tawag daw sa itong sense of smell kay olfaction. And naga-occur siya response sa itong mga airborne molecules. Then, ang tawag sa itong mga airborne molecules kay odorants. Then, kaning odorants, kimusulod siya sa itong nasal cavity. So, ang olfaction daw, kay mo ni siya ang ginayuse sa olfactory system used for smelling. So, olfaction is one of the special senses. So, as stated kaganiha, na atay 5 ka special senses. So, most mammals and reptiles have a main olfactory system. Excuse me. The dendrites of olfactory neurons extend to the epithelial surface and their ends are modified with long specialized cilia that lie in a thin mucous film on the epithelial surface. The mucus keeps the nasal epithelium moist, traps and dissolves airborne molecules, and facilitates the removal of molecules and particles from the nasal epithelium. So, di ba, naday silya sa tuwang ilong. So, mapansin natin mga murag hair-like structures dito sa tuwang ilong. So, ang tawag na kay silya. So, ang trabaho sa silya is that kanang iyang gina-filter out katong mga airborne molecules nga katanay mga halong foreign objects. For example, na virus or bacteria nga nahalo. Iyang trabaho is kanang iyang i-filter out katong mga foreign objects. And then, si cilia kay naa siya nakalay sa thin mucous film sa epithelial surface. So, katong na-trap niya dito nga mga airborne molecules dito sa cilia is that mag-mix na dito nga mucus mo na siya matabo na siyang booger or hugmo. So, next, there are at least 400 functional olfactory receptors in the human body. Each olfactory receptor can bind multiple types of odorants. Conversely, each type of odorant can bind to multiple olfactory receptors. This multiple combination of odorants and receptors allow us to detect an estimated 10,000 different smells. So, nari 400 ka functional olfactory receptor ang human body. So, kaning 400 if mag-bind sila together, so makabuo sila og 10,000 different smells. Once an odorant has bound to each receptor, the receptor is desensitized and does not respond to another odor molecule for some time, which helps with adaptation to a particular odor. So, meaning kung ang odorant daw kay nana sa tong receptor and kanang nagdugay na siya sa tuang receptor, di mapansin ta kung ang kwarto kay kanang baho ug singot, then dugay na ta didto ang kwarto is that maanad ta didto nga smell. So mo na ang trabaho, ma-desynthesize ni receptor ang odor. So ma-adapt na nato ang baho ato nga environment. The olfactory range and sensitivity is even greater in some animals than in humans due to a larger number and more types of olfactory receptors. Example are dogs. One thing, they have possessed up to 300 million olfactory receptors in their noses. Dogs' nose compared to humans were 100 times better. So, di ba, as we all know nga mas grabe jud og panimhot ang dogs kaysa humans. So, dogs' nose compared to humans were 100 times better because ang dogs na sila na-possess nga 300 million olfactory receptors kaysa humans nga na 400 olfactory receptors, and if mag-combine 10,000 lang ang makaya, unlike sa dogs ng 300 million. So, another example sa dog is ang bear. So bear, it has the best sense of smell of all terrestrial animals. Black bear has observed to travel 18 miles in a straight line to a food source, while grizzly bears can find an elk carcass when it's underwater. Polar bears can smell a seal through 3 feet of ice. And also bears can smell fear. So, aside sa dog, ang bear daw, isa daw siya sa pinaka-best na naay sense of smell or olfaction sa mga terrestrial animals. So, it is 2,100 times better than humans. So, if ang dog kay 100 times better, ang bear is 2,100 times better kaysa human. So, imagine nga ang bear is ma-sense niya ang kanang food 18 miles away. So, imagine, anak kakusog ang iyahang panimhot. So, now, I will explain the process of olfaction. Neuronal pathways for olfaction. This shows you the process of smelling. First is the axons from the olfactory neurons form the olfactory nerves, which pass through the foramina of the cribriform plate and enter the olfactory bulb. At the olfactory bulb, they synapse with interneurons that relay action potentials to the brain through the olfactory tract. Each olfactory tract terminates in an area of the brain called the olfactory cortex, located in the temporal and frontal lobes of the brain. Olfaction is the only major sensation that is relayed directly to the cerebral cortex without passing through the thalamus. So in simple words, I will explain. So first, mukuan siya sa tong axon. So ang axon kay mo diretso ma-form siya sa mga olfactory nerves. So ang olfactory nerves kay magpass siya sa foramina of the cribriform plate. Then ang katong mga signal nga gitransfer sa axon to the olfactory nerve to the foramina of the cribriform plate is mo enter siya sa tong olfactory bulb. Then next sa tong olfactory bulb kay mo synapse siya sa olfactory bulb, then mo diretso siya sa tong olfactory tract. After sa olfactory tract kay mosulod na siya sa area sa brain called the olfactory cortex. So, si olfactory cortex kay na-collocate siya sa atong temporal and atong frontal lobes. Then, olfaction is moderatio na siya sa atong cerebral cortex. So, olfaction lang daw ang only process nga dili na siya moagi sa thalamus. So, diretso na siya sa atong cerebral cortex. So, next is the picture. So, muna siyang picture. So, makita na to ahang olfactory bulb, ahang olfactory tract, ahang frontal bone, nasal cavity. Yes. So, the olfactory cortex is involved with both conscious perception of smell and the visceral and emotional emotions that are often linked to odors. Within the olfactory bulb and olfactory cortex are feedback loops that tend to inhibit transmissions of action potential resulting for prolonged exposure to a given odorant. So, meaning ani is kanang if prolonged exposure to the given odorant, for example, katong gi-explain kaganiha, di ba if mo enter ta sa isa ka room nga bahog singot, di ba? Bahog singot, if kanang dugay na tong exposure ato nga baho, ang kato siya nga odorant is mag-adapt na siya sa tong brain. So, nagadugay, nagahinay ang katong bahog singot nga baho. Pero if mugawas ta ato nga room and mosulod tag usab ato nga room, mas imhuta na po natog usab ang katong bahog singot. So, other words, is mo na siyang ginagamit for adaptation. And also, the olfactory cortex is involved with both conscious perception of smell and the visceral and emotional reactions. Meaning, ani visceral and emotional reactions kay kanang maka-feel ta og pain kanang katugon na ta, kanang muhilak ta. For example, kanang muhilak ta. Di ba pag muhilak ta is kanang murag ting-ot atong ilong or kanang murag kanang dili kita ginhawa kay murag kanang sikon ana. So mura siyang example ana. Yes. So then there are 10 basic odor humans can smell. So these are fragrant, fruity, citrus, woody and resinous, chemical, sweet, minty and peppermint, toasty and nutty, pungent and decayed. So all of these are the 10 basic odor humans can smell. So mo ni siya itong mga examples sa mga odorants nga kung giingon kaganiha. So first is fragrant. So mo ni siya katong mga floral, perfume, mga humot. Fruity is kanang mga bubblegum o baho. Citrus is kanang murag kanang sunod ta sa kanang hotel. Then masimhutan nato nga orange or kanang lemon lime ang ilahang air freshener. So di ba murag refreshing ana. So woody and resinous. So kanang murag feel na kanang murag bahog kahoy or ana. Chemical or bleach. Ang kanang murag baho ana is kanang murag sa laboratory. Then sweet kanang chocolate, vanilla or caramel, minty and peppermint is kanang murag mentos or kanang eucalyptus camphor. Toasty and nutty is kanang popcorn, peanut butter and almonds or excuse me, or anything that is nutty or peanuts, anything. Toasted bread. Pungent, meaning ani is kanang baho. Pungent and decayed, mo na siya kanang mga baho na nga mga baho. So, pungent, under ani is kanang mga bahog ilok. And kanang mga bahog sigarilyo. And also kanang blue cheese. Meaning blue cheese is kanang nalata na gani nga cheese. Kanang nagmolds na ang cheese. And also decayed if nalata na ang meat and sour milk. Diba murag sakit kay siya simhuton. So yes, muna siya itong mga klase sa odorants and or odors. So that is the sense of olfaction. So thank you for listening olfaction. So now, the next topic I will explain what is taste.